All right, we are headed towards the Camping World in Kodak, Sevierville, Tennessee, where there appears to be a controversy surrounding a flag, more specifically a flagpole, that Camping World is flying out on East Dumpling Road. I first learned of this situation on the morning show Stephen J. in the Morning on 105.5 The Mix. Here's a clip of them discussing it this morning.
Have notified a Kodak business that their flagpole that displays a giant American flag is in violation of the municipal zoning ordinance. The 130-foot flagpole that flies a giant 40 by 80-foot American flag is located on the business property on East Dumpling Valley Road. The notice from the city advises the owners that they may not continue to use the flagpole and has 30 days to bring the property into compliance. The maximum height for a flagpole in the area is 44 feet. The company did reportedly previously make a request to construct the 130-foot flagpole, a request that the city denied in February 2024.
I think it's important to maintain that it is about the height of the flagpole and not about the American flag itself. But because of the fact that an American flag is involved in this controversy, along with what seems to be a renewed sense of patriotism in this country, it has sparked some emotional responses from folks. We would love to have you weigh in on this in the comments below. What do you think should happen in this situation? Should Camping World be forced to take down this flagpole, or do you think it should remain as it is? We're going to take a look at all the available information as of today, February 7th, 2025, and hopefully you let us know what you think about this issue. It didn't take long for news agencies to hear about this, so we're going to cut over to Wait 6 out of Knoxville as they reported on this yesterday. Take a listen.
The city of Sevierville is threatening legal action against an RV rental company there, saying its flagpole and American flag violate zoning codes. However, the Camping World company CEO says he will not be taking it down. 6 News reporter Naomi Hilmer talked to the city and the CEO and has more on the dispute.
It unfortunately, it breaks my heart, but I'll have to tell you and everybody else in the town, flag's not coming down.
According to the City of Sevierville, the Board of Zoning Appeals denied Camping World's request to construct a 130-foot flagpole in their property last year. However, the company proceeded with its development.
I had this flag in my family since I was a little child. I was born in a foreign country. I have the blessing of being here in the United States where I can have a business and have employees. And this is my way to pay respect to not only the veterans of this country, but current and active military and everybody else who just loves the country.
Despite the City of Sevierville saying it exceeds their 44-foot height limit for a zone in a high-traffic area, Camping World CEO Marcus Lemonis says it's not a safety concern.
And I hope that everybody in the community understands this is a principle more than anything. It's not hurting anybody. It's been cleared with the FAA, so there's no safety issue.
Many residents in the area say they don't mind the size of the flag.
I say, leave it alone. So it's big. Let it fly.
Veterans driving through see it as a symbol for what they fought for.
It represents our country, and it represents everybody that fought for this country, and it's our independence. And yeah, that's absolutely the worst thing you could possibly think about doing.
The City of Sevierville says if the company does not comply within 30 days, they will seek legal action or issue citations until they do. But Lemonis is standing firm.
I understand this is a bone of contention. I understand that we're going to get fines. I understand that the city has rights to do a lot of things, but the flag's just, it's not coming down.
And he says nearly all the Camping World locations have a flag just like it.
Naomi, thank you. This, by the way, not the first time that Camping World has had a dispute like this with local government. The company has acquired several fines in Greenville, North Carolina for a similar issue over flags.
Here we have that official notice from the City of Sevierville issued on January 30th. Due to some comments and supposedly some threats that was issued to the code enforcement officers, we redacted the names and contact information here. Next, we have a clip of Camping World CEO Marcus Lemonis discussing his continued fights about flags and flagpoles at various locations.
Well, this isn't the first time this has happened. We've been dealing with this for years, and we have these flags around the country, and they've been part of my fabric since I was a little kid. We dealt with it in Statesville, Morgan Hill, California, Onalaska, Wisconsin, and now Greenville, North Carolina. And I think this is a perfect example, and Liz was talking about this just a minute ago, of local and city and state municipalities putting regulations on businesses that don't advance the business. They just create more noise and unnecessary distractions.
You heard Lemonis contend that he has a connection to the American flag as someone that came to this country and enjoys the American dream. He also stated that he flies the flag to honor veterans and people that have sacrificed for the American dream and the American people. But it seems the city of Sevierville may have different ideas about why this is happening, calling it a publicity stunt. Listen to this.
In a statement, the city of Sevierville says it, quote, is not and never will be against patriotism. The city calls the situation a publicity stunt and points out that it is not telling the business to take down the flag. It says true patriotism involves civil discourse. And it goes on to explain the reason behind the height restrictions, saying in part, quote, excessively tall structures can impact the scenic views that are a vital part of what makes Sevierville a destination for residents and visitors alike.
It does seem that Camping World has had this issue in several places. Either the size of the flag or the flagpole height has been an issue at a lot of Camping World locations. And that does, no doubt, bring some publicity to Camping World. Obviously, we'd love to hear you guys chime in on this too. Is it a publicity stunt, or is it done to honor veterans in America? I did find a clip about the controversy at the Statesville location where the size of the flag was the issue. Listen in here.
The debate continues tonight. The CEO of the company flying a huge American flag in Statesville says he will pay the fine, but he will not take the flag down. The flag is 3 times the size allowed by the city ordinance.
Today, the mayor announced he wants to change that ordinance because this controversy has had a negative impact on local businesses. NBC Charlotte's Chloe Leshner is in Statesville with more.
The CEO of Camping World is doubling down on his argument and says this flag will continue to fly. He says he's even willing to go to jail over this debate. A huge show of patriotism at the center of a legal debate in Statesville.
The flag is not coming down under any circumstance.
The CEO of Camping World, Marcus Lemonis, is being sued by the city of Statesville over this 40 by 80 foot flag flying at Gander RV next to I-77. The city's ordinance limits flags to 25 by 40 feet.
I don't advocate an ordinance being broken, period. Let's start with that. In this particular case, I feel like the ordinance was flawed.
The city has been pushing Camping World to replace it with a smaller flag and is attempting to fine them $50 a day, dating all the way back to October 2018. Backlash to the city's response was swift and widespread.
The city ought to leave this thing alone and let it go.
Today, the mayor proposed a change in the ordinance that would allow the flag to fly freely.
Only now, since the public outcry has happened, is all of a sudden magically an emergency amendment happening.
Lemonis says he hasn't heard from the mayor personally. He says the city shouldn't put any restriction on the size of a flag.
The flagpole or the flag size should not be regulated as long as the health, wellness, and safety of people are not in question.
The city council will vote on that ordinance change in July. Until then, the CEO insists the flag is staying put.
So yes, this is a fight that Mr. Lemonis is obviously accustomed to, and one that he maintains he is willing to continue to pay fines over and even be incarcerated for. Now here on screen, we have the latest, as of today, statement from the city of Sevierville in its entirety. It says here in the city statement, we are aware of recent concerns shared online regarding one of our city ordinances and its enforcement by our staff. Due to the nature of the comments, emails, and phone calls directed towards city staff, we feel it necessary to say that while we respect and value the right to free expression, we believe that targeting a city employee who is simply carrying out their job is neither patriotic nor productive. The situation is a publicity stunt used for advertising and marketing aimed at drawing attention to the business rather than fostering meaningful change. This is a pretty blunt statement from the city. One thing that sticks out to me right from the rip is that it doesn't say in our opinion or anything like that. It mentions it as a matter of fact. It goes on to say the city of Sevierville is not and never will be against patriotism. True patriotism embodies the respect for the values that unite our community: freedom of expression, responsibility, and civil discourse. Publicly attacking an employee for enforcing regulations is not a reflection of patriotism, but a failure of basic human decency. Our employees do not create ordinances. They implement policies established by the organization. They deserve our protection and respect. Now, I want to say unequivocally here, there is no room for that kind of stuff. If anybody is attacking or making threats towards public employees that are simply doing their job, that's not the way to go about this. Now, I was very interested in this next section where it talks about the reason why it's 44 feet, why the flagpole height was an issue. It says the city has regulations on the height and placement of structures, including flagpoles, not the size of the flag itself, for several important reasons. Excessively tall structures can create visual distractions for motorists, pose potential safety hazards, and impact the scenic views that are a vital part of what makes Sevierville a destination for residents and visitors alike. These ordinances exist not to stifle patriotism, but to balance individual expression with the overall safety, beauty, and livability of our city. So I'm not sure what to think about this. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this as well. The scenic views, what safety hazards would it be, distractions for motorists? I'm not really sure. It also makes me think, how tall is that Bucky sign on exit 407? Is it 44 feet? Seems pretty tall. It's a tall structure. It continues to go over the 44-foot and 130-foot flagpole issue in the first paragraph. If you need or want to read this in its entirety, feel free to pause at any point. The rest of this kind of talks about the cooperation between the city and businesses in the city, and it says that they are open to productive conversation with those willing to contribute positively to our community. It says we strive to work hand in hand with businesses and residents in an effort to find solutions that reflect our shared values and honor the spirit of true patriotism. So this is really all I have as of right now. I'm definitely going to be following this story as the story develops. One thing that immediately sticks out to me in the city's statement here is that they are going hard in the paint on the Camping World CEO's position and motivations as it pertains to patriotism or the public spectacle of it all. Again, don't forget to drop us a line in the comments letting us know what you think about this situation. That's about it for us. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.